Okay, plague of blood. Let's see.
It was just Pharaoh's heart.
So he did
became
not
hard.
even take it to heart.
Yeah.
He wasn't even.
Yeah. I don't. It doesn't say much, does it?
It just says that he didn't even take it to heart. Turned around, went to his palace, and
Yep. Okay. Plague of frogs. Let's see. Verse 15 of chapter 8. Finally, when there was relief, Pharaoh saw it. He hardened his heart. Okay.
So then Pharaoh.
So that was
One for Pharaoh.
that was Pharaoh. Yeah.
That's one for Pharaoh.
Yeah, we can track that. Yeah. Plague of gnats.
Mine says his heart was hard.
Verse 19. Mine says Pharaoh's heart was hard.
Yeah.
Mine says was hardened.
Okay. So
So it must have stayed the
so it
same.
had never softened him. Huh?
Yeah.
So
That's-
far, he's not
no,
had
that's-
softening.
Come on.
Okay.
So, yeah, I guess. Plague of flies. Verse 32, this time also Pharaoh hardened his heart and would not let the people go. Okay, another one for Pharaoh. Plague of livestock. Verse 7 of chapter 9,
He's unyielding.
his heart was unyielding. So again, I guess that's
Pharaoh. Yeah.
Pharaoh, or yeah, and I mean, and the gnats was as well, because there is no mention of the Lord there, so
Now,
it was just
says
Pharaoh.
Lord hardened.
boils, yes, the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart. So it takes until there's blood, frogs, gnats, flies, livestock. So it's the sixth plague when finally it says the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart. But let's just do the last one, the last one we read. Verse 35, it just says Pharaoh's heart was hard. He would not let the Israelites go. So the first five, Pharaoh just had a hard heart, or he hardened it himself. Then the sixth one, we get mention of the Lord. But then the seventh one, we go back to no mention of the Lord. So, I don't know, where does that lead you? Any of you, I guess.
6-1.
Yep. That's what I say.
Way to go.
He just had a hard heart.
Yeah.
He wasn't willing to let go. He thought he knew more than God at this point.
He wasn't convinced for sure.
No, that's for sure.
It was hard to convince.
Yeah, I'm getting convinced first one. It's like, okay,
But that really is dramatic the way it's, that one time he says, he hardened it.
Yeah, so what do you make of that?
Well, God must be wanting to prove something to do that.
Yeah.
Don't you think that at this point he probably, God wanted the Israelites to be sure to see that it was his doings, that it was from God, and to appreciate what he was doing for them?
Oh, for the Israelites' benefit.
Yeah.
I certainly think that's part of it. Yeah.
Pharaoh had to be convinced so that he would, when he did decide that he wouldn't go back on his word, but he did anyway, so.
Right. Yeah.
Didn't have the story.
Yeah. The video alluded to it, that God is working his way up toward the killing of the firstborn, and that's so that Egypt knows what that's like. Because they did that, well, not even just the first one, but Egypt did that to all the boys. Right.
Pretty ironic that it'd be Moses then.
Sure.
Not ironic
There's,
at all.
well, there's more irony, as we'll keep going here. Something that just struck me for the first time recently.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that in the coming weeks. So yeah, it seems like, through those first 5, Pharaoh had the chance. He had the chance to let them go. And there were plenty of warnings too. Even beside the plagues, he told on a couple of occasions, the Lord told Moses, go to him in the cool of the morning, or even just go to him and tell him this is what's going to happen. And it did happen. And so Pharaoh, he has the chance to let them go through the first 5 and then even in the 7th one. But yeah, it does seem like the fact that the Lord is hardening his heart in the 6th one, and then we'll see a couple more, that the Lord is committed to seeing this all the way through. So.
I still don't understand why the Lord hardened his heart, though. I mean, I guess why couldn't he? I guess, I don't know. If it was already hard, why do you have to harden it more?
Well, but don't you think that's kind of like
I just don't get why they say.
Pharaoh's heart was hardened because the Lord had already done that?
So,
I just don't.
well, one possible answer, Beth, is the Lord hardened it so that there would be more plagues, right? Does that kind of make sense?
I guess.
So,
I just don't know why they're.
I guess I'm saying that to say then, what is the purpose of the plagues?
Well, yeah, but I guess it's just thinking too much.
Well,
Well, at one point, he says that he is stronger and more in control than any force on earth. But I guess that's
Yeah,
what
because
he
he
is
is
telling them.
that's what I thought, over all the earth. He is Lord of all the earth, and that's what he's trying to
yeah,
prove, so he can
yeah,
do that.
yeah. No, that's great. And
I think he's.
so that everyone knows that fact,
So
the Israelites,
accept-
the Egyptians as well, Pharaoh even.
I mean, people probably knew that, but they didn't want to accept it.
I guess I'm just.
Pharaoh did.
But it is a difficult thing
I guess it's
to understand why
hard.
the Lord does it.
I guess it's just hard to imagine that somebody had seen all this stuff
Yeah,
and yet they still don't believe. I guess it's just hard for someone that believes to understand why.
Well,
Someone like that.
and
What
he probably did believe, but he was going to lose all his people,
But
all
he
the
wanted to be in
workers.
power.
His income,
right. Right.
therefore his power, a lot of his power.
Yeah,
He's gonna lose it.
it's almost like he's weighing the costs. It's like, well, okay, these
that's
frogs are
true.
really annoying, but maybe we can weather this out. And
And he did every time it stopped, it got
Right.
better. So Pharaoh's thinking, well, after each one, well, it stopped, so now
right.
And we
maybe it
really
won't be
don't-
anymore. So maybe that's why his heart was hardened, because he.
And
Okay.
over time, like Sherry said, maybe if we knew the exact time between these, because sometimes,
That's true,
you know
yeah.
how sometimes you are, something bad happens or something you go, I'm gonna change. But then the next
True.
day and the next day and the
That's
next
very
day,
true.
it kind of goes,
Back
that
to the
way.
way it
So that-
was.
Right, that's okay, I'm getting back into the,
Yeah.
Right.
so maybe that's kind of.
That's probably how they're explaining it.
You
I
know.
understand. Okay.
That's helpful. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
But certainly there's a whole lot of things wrapped up in this. Pharaoh's pride. He doesn't want to say or even give in to the Lord. He also doesn't want to lose his free labor, right? So there's that, and maybe he, what Karen said, maybe he held out hope that the gods he worshipped might do something.
That's true, yeah.
So, but it's still a fair point. Like, my goodness, there were so many things.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he notice or decided to let it go or change his mind? So that's good. Now I wanted to point out that, it did say a couple times, Pharaoh asked Moses, pray for me, or pray to the Lord about this. What do you make of that? Because that kind of throws a wrinkle into this whole thing.
Yeah, that was weird, wasn't it? And he did pray for him. He said he would, and he did.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, it seems strange to me that he's requesting prayer, that it would stop,
And yet he doesn't.
but he doesn't do anything after that. But I don't know, maybe that's not actually that weird, because